Have you ever watched someone walk away from something they desperately needed because they simply couldn't afford it? What if one small act of kindness could change not only their day but their entire life? This is the story of a woman who thought she had reached her breaking point, until a stranger stopped her when she least expected it. Before we begin, welcome to Kindness Legacy. If you enjoy heartwarming stories that restore faith in humanity, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories of kindness. Now, let's begin. Emily was 32 years old and doing everything she could to keep her life together. She worked long hours at a small grocery store in a quiet town in Ohio. The pay wasn't great, but it helped cover the rent for the tiny apartment she shared with her 8-year-old son, Noah. Life had not been easy since her husband left 3 years earlier. Every month felt like a battle between paying bills, buying groceries, and making sure Noah had everything he needed for school. Emily always put her son first, even if it meant going without things herself. One rainy evening after a long shift, Emily felt exhausted. She had skipped lunch to save money and her stomach growled as she passed a small family restaurant near the bus stop. The smell of fresh soup and warm bread drifted through the air. She checked her wallet and counted the few dollars she had left. It wasn't much, but she hadn't eaten a proper meal all day. For once, she decided to treat herself. Emily stepped inside and ordered the cheapest meal on the menu, a bowl of chicken soup and a small sandwich. As she sat alone by the window, she felt a rare moment of peace. The warm food comforted her, and for the first time in weeks, she wasn't worrying about tomorrow. But when the waitress brought the bill, Emily's heart sank. She reached into her purse again and realized she had made a terrible mistake. Earlier that day, an automatic payment for Noah's school supplies had been deducted from her account. The money she thought she had was gone. Her face turned pale. Embarrassed and fighting back tears, she quietly stood up and walked toward the door. She planned to explain her situation and come back later to pay. But before she could leave, a voice called out behind her. "Ma'am, wait a second." Emily froze. Her stomach twisted with shame. She turned around expecting criticism or suspicion. Instead, she saw an older man standing near one of the tables. He looked to be in his late 60s, wearing a simple jacket and a warm smile. "Did you forget something?" he asked gently. Emily lowered her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I thought I had enough money, but I was wrong. I'll come back tomorrow and pay for the meal." The man nodded thoughtfully. Then he reached into his pocket and handed some cash to the waitress. "It's already taken care of," he said. Emily's eyes widened. "No, sir, I can't let you do that." The man smiled. "Actually, you can. Because many years ago, someone did the same thing for me." Emily stood speechless. The stranger introduced himself as Robert. He explained that decades earlier, after losing his job, he had found himself unable to pay for a meal. A stranger had quietly paid for him and simply said, "When you can, pass it on." Robert never forgot that moment. "Kindness kept me going when I needed it most," he said. "Now I try to do the same for others." Emily felt tears fill her eyes. It wasn't just the money. It was the fact that someone had seen her struggle and chosen compassion instead of judgment. She thanked Robert repeatedly, but he waved it off with a smile. Before leaving, he handed her a small card with his phone number. "If you ever need help finding better work, give me a call," he said. Emily tucked the card into her purse and thanked him once more. She assumed she would never use it. But a week later, when her grocery store announced layoffs, she remembered Robert's card. Nervously, she called him. To her surprise, Robert invited her to meet him. During their conversation, he learned about her dedication, her work ethic, and her dream of building a better future for Noah. As it turned out, Robert owned a small local business and was looking for someone reliable to help manage his office. Within a month, Emily started a new job with better pay, regular hours, and health benefits. For the first time in years, she felt hopeful. Months passed, and life slowly improved. Emily could finally save money. Noah had everything he needed for school. The stress that once weighed heavily on her shoulders began to fade. Yet the lesson Robert taught her remained close to her heart. One afternoon, Emily noticed a young mother standing in line at a grocery store. The woman looked worried as she counted coins, realizing she couldn't afford all the items in her cart. Without hesitation, Emily stepped forward and paid the difference. The young mother looked at her with gratitude and disbelief. Emily simply smiled and said, "Someone once helped me when I needed it most. Now it's my turn." As she walked away, she thought about how a single act of kindness had changed her life. Robert's generosity wasn't just about paying for a meal. It was about restoring hope. It reminded her that even in difficult times, there are people willing to help. And sometimes, the smallest gesture can create a ripple effect that reaches far beyond what we can see. If this story teaches us anything, it's that kindness never truly ends. Every act of compassion has the power to inspire another. You never know what someone is going through or how much your kindness might mean to them. So the next time you have an opportunity to help someone, take it. A simple act could change a life forever. And just like Robert's kindness changed Emily's world, your kindness might become the reason someone finds hope again.